Hello and welcome to Ringside Reality. I'm your host Jonathan here with my co-host Chris,
Hey everybody.
and we're here to discuss what happened last night at the Royal Rumble. That's the big news, big scoop.
Yes, it is the big news.
Well, everybody online is talking about it today. Um, Mostly negative, but I think I'd like to talk about some of the positive stuff first, and then we'll talk about the negative. How about that?
No.
That's a little bit of change. Well, because I really feel that the Rumble, the Styles Cena match was like excellent, and so it brought everybody up, and I was so excited. And then the Rumble just kind of crushed my dreams.
Yes, the WWE has a way of crushing everybody's dreams when you have your hopes set high for something.
Well, because if you're
Yeah,
watching a
but they did last
movie,
night.
I don't care what kind of movie you're watching this excellent movie, and then the last 15, 20 minutes is absolute garbage and just shits all over the rest of it. Then you're gonna walk away with like a bad taste in your mouth, right? It doesn't matter
Oh,
if it's
yeah.
fucking the best movie of all time. You get a shitty ending and a shitty, little final act. It's not gonna be. It tarnishes the rest of it. The whole Royal Rumble could have been a fucking non-stop spot fest. Could have been fucking 5-star matches all over the place. But once the Rumble happened and it was garbage, then it ruins it, don't it? They ruined it.
Well, yeah, they have trouble pulling off like a full. Well, the problem is it's hard to do for them, I guess, because the show's like 4 hours long. So I mean, it's pretty hard to pull off a 4-hour show without any crap in between. But I was weird last night because they were going so good. I was the same as you. I was jacked after the Cena Styles match because there was 4 matches in, and even the matches that didn't really like. I mean, obviously Neville and whatever Buddy's name is.
Rich Swann. Well, the crowd was
like
dead,
that
but
just-
the match wasn't that bad.
Yeah, like that is what it is, and Bailey and Charlotte is Bailey and Charlotte, same match they've always had. But like, yeah, like there was just a big crowd there. The atmosphere was good, and then I was like, oh my god, like I'm jacked. This show has been really good, and like the Rumble's coming up now. Like holy crap, I'm gonna freaking jizz my pants here. Like this is too much to handle. And I don't know what happened, but they slashed all 4 tires within the first like 20 minutes of the Rumble for me, and I was like, oh god, like I was falling asleep on the couch, man, talking to you. But anyway, we'll focus on the good stuff first. It wasn't the Rumble wasn't all bad. It wasn't. Last night's show wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. It's just some stuff, I guess. But the good stuff was, well, Owens and Reigns. That match was pretty good. It wasn't like fantastic or anything. But
There's some good spots in it. There was a spot fest, really.
yeah, that was good. Well, that's all it was. Yeah.
There's a table spot, and there was that like chair spot with like the pyramid of chairs. And there's a Samoan drop onto the chair spot. There was a bunch of like pretty crazy spots in it.
Owens did the old frog splash through the table on the outside. That was a good
Yeah.
one. But yeah, it was a good match. Like,
But Reigns is fucking
He left-
unstoppable, man. So Kevin Owens hits him with a Superman punch with brass knuckles, but he kicks out.
that there, yeah, William Regal's friggin' upset somewhere because if anybody would have done that to him back in the day when he always hits people with the brass knuckles. But like, it's just the whole thing. It's like it's Reigns, man. He's like tarnishing every show, and Vince is. I don't know. Like it's hard for me to get away from. So like, as soon as you mention that match, it was a good match. But like, just the whole thing with Reigns again is just WWE cannot make me hate anyone as much as I hate Roman Reigns. It's like even if they wanted me to, they couldn't. They're making me like, and I'm not just on the bandwagon. I actually hate the guy, like hate. And I don't know why. It's because I do know why. It's because like Vince is obsessed with him, and like, can he never just look normal and look human? Like even Cena, for God's sakes, holy crap, man! Like remember when Cena took on Lesnar at SummerSlam and got destroyed? Like remember when like Cena lost to CM Punk clean in the middle of the ring at Money in the Bank like 6 years? Like Cena's had his moments of doubt, but Reigns is just retarded. Like I can't even watch him, and it's like so that match was good, but it leaves a bad taste in my mouth because first of all, the brass knucks thing. Second of all, the start of the match, Jericho and Owens attack Reigns. Oh no, that don't matter. Reigns just beats the crap out of 2 of them and makes a fool out of Jericho and puts him in the cage.
Then Strowman interferes.
Well, that's the thing. So when Strowman interfered, I was texting you like, oh, they're going with Strowman and Reigns for like Fastlane or Mania or something. But then the Undertaker thing happened with Reigns at the end, which kind of makes the Strowman thing make no sense. Like, and now it's Reigns and Undertaker. What was the whole point of Strowman coming out? Is he just a filler feud for Fastlane until he takes on the Undertaker at Mania?
For sure, 100%.
The Strowman thing left me confused, but I guess I gotta let things play out. But yeah, good match. Just Reigns friggin' overkill again. Like the brass knucks thing, that was just ridiculous, man. But he lost, so I'm not going to complain too much. But what Owens had to do and Strowman interfering.
But like I said, there's no doubt in my mind right now that Kevin Owens is the worst booked champion in WWE history.
Oh yeah,
worse than Rey Mysterio, worse than Chris Jericho, like Chris Jericho's first run. All of that doesn't even matter. Like they were booked way better than Owens. At least they can win a goddamn match like by themselves. Owen, seriously, he comes off. I know he's supposed to look like the chicken shit heel, but didn't he come in at first and like beat John Cena his first night? Wasn't he like the prize fighter and wasn't he a badass at first? Now he's just like seems so whiny and just he can't get the job done without somebody coming to help him. But like you said earlier, he had to have Jericho help him jump Reigns beforehand. He fucking basically hit Reigns with like everything but the kitchen sink in the goddamn match. Then Strowman has to come out and help him for him to even win. He didn't even win the title on his own. He was handed the title from Triple H. Like, I don't know.
In a suit?
Yeah, it makes no sense to me, man.
He didn't even put his ring gear on for that, did he?
No, it's so bad.
He came out in a suit.
Like he's getting.
Oh, he's booked horribly.
Horribly.
Like you said, mate. So bad.
But he's gonna lose it soon. He's gonna lose that title before Mania. I guarantee it.
He's gonna lose that Fastlane to Goldberg. Is what's gonna happen. That's what everybody's saying now. This was all set up just so Goldberg can win the title at Fastlane because Goldberg's scheduled to work Fastlane. And that's actually a fact, I guess. And then he's not going. Goldberg's not going to fight for anything but the title. He's not going to he's not going to have a filler feud. His filler feud's going to be for the title. He's going to beat Owens, and then they're going to go with Lesnar and Goldberg for the title at Mania. I'm pretty sure what's happening, which is just whatever. Like
and you'll get
this Mania, you'll
get Owens versus Jericho for the U.S. title at Mania.
Yeah, you get that for U.S. title. It's like I said to you last week. Like I don't know, man. Like I used to look forward to this time of year so much, but it's almost like my most dreaded time of year because it's the time when you get the most potential and the most big matchups you can do, and they just never do it. They never pull the trigger on not even half of the right shit and then half filler. Like, it's always the wrong thing. Like, what I'm hearing about this Mania with Goldberg Lesnar for the title, what? Like, nobody wants to see Goldberg Lesnar for the Universal title. Nobody. And then you got, like, Styles and Shane. Like, what? The best wrestler in the world is fighting Shane McMahon, who's like a 50-year-old non-wrestler? It's just, they're going to screw... Like, they did it last year, they screwed it up. But anyway, we'll get into that, but good match. Yeah, like you said, man, it took Jericho in a cage. He dropped down to brass knucks. He hit him with everything but the kitchen sink. It took Strowman interfering. Finally, he got the pin on him. But Owens is chump, and he's going to lose the belt to Goldberg.
Yeah,
that was that. But hold on, if you never, I know everybody's seen it, but that wasn't the end of Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
Reigns came back again later. But
what
was the next match? Neville and Swan, whatever.
Well, that was
I'm glad Neville's the champion.
Yeah, but that was a filler match. That was a to get everybody calmed down kind of deal for the you know what I mean. And yes, yeah. I'm hoping now that Neville as champion, they can actually try to build this division a little bit. Now they got somebody who's actually a sensible. Like face.
They're gonna need a lot more than fucking Neville.
I know, but all right. So we'll talk about Styles and Cena, which I thought was an excellent match.
Yes, this was the match of the night for me.
Oh, yeah,
by
sure.
the fucking landslide.
Yeah. Well, I was just reading there a minute ago on Facebook that people are now. I don't know. I think this is going a bit too far, but they're comparing it to Omega and Okada at Wrestle Kingdom.
No.
I was like, I don't think she's a 6-star match or nothing, but I was like,
no. It wasn't even... I don't even know if it was their best match. I thought SummerSlam was as good. Maybe one of them. It was either SummerSlam or this one, but
it was a good
this
match.
was a really good match.
Yeah.
Like, JBL was hilarious. He was talking about it like it was goddamn Austin Hirsch at WrestleMania 13 or something. He was like, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. And everything. I was like, I was marking out. It was a good match. But
some of the spots were pretty cool, man. Like the AA off the second rope, and then Styles kicked out. Like, I thought that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that it was like, he did it, Styles kicked out, he picked him up, gave him another AA, didn't even bother to pin him, picked him up again and give him another AA immediately after, as if to say, like, I know that, like, one more is not, like, that one is not going to put him out, I need to give him another one. So I thought that made Styles look really strong, man. Even in a losing effort, he looked mad strong. Took 3 AAs, one of them off the second rope to beat him. Like, that's retarded.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Like, I mean, I don't know.
The false finishes were good to me. Like, everything kind of fit.
I think there might have been like one false finish too many kind of thing, but it was a clinic pretty much. it wasn't. It's not a perfect match. Like there was I thought they were doing too many finishers, but that's the only gripe I had with it. Like out of 30 minutes, 27 minutes of it was just. I thought it was an awesome match. I didn't like the fact that I find a lot of Cena's matches just turns into the finisher fest kind of matches, but like the last 10 minutes is just two guys hitting their finishers. But last night they kind of shook it up, like you said, with Cena rolling into the second AA and then the AA after the top, like something a little bit different and just finisher, reverse finisher, pin kick out. Like a lot of Cena's matches, well, a lot of big matches, like that's the WWE style, right? That's what they make their wrestlers do is like spot fest at the end with finishers. But I really don't have too many complaints about it. Like it wasn't friggin' 5-star match or anything, but it was best match of the night. Probably their best match that they've had, maybe like out of the three of them.
I like I said,
I was jacked.
I'd give it a four stars, maybe even 4.5. Like it was pretty close.
I'd probably go 4.5, maybe.
Yeah, it was pretty close, man.
Like I said, if it wasn't for I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the old just finisher, kick out finisher, because it just dilutes it so much. Like it makes it hard. Like as soon as he hits the first finisher, you're like, well, that's not no chance. And even now when he hits in a big, in a big match feel like Styles, I don't even really react to a finisher when he does it the first time because I know it's not gonna be, and that's not a good thing. As soon as you see a finisher, you should be like, oh shit. But it's at the point now where it's like, even after the AA after second rope, I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure Styles gonna kick out of this, which really Styles shouldn't have kicked out of that.
Well,
my God, man.
When he gave
but it's like hypocrisy too. Like
Styles gave him the Styles Clash, I knew he was gonna kick out of that. He's Cena, right?
Yeah.
Then he gave him the AA after. Well, he gave him another Styles Clash after that, and I thought it was done. I thought that was it then. Like 2 Styles Clashes, I thought it might have been it, but I was like, I can't see Cena losing. Yeah, when he gave him the AA off the top rope, I honestly thought that was it. I thought that was the finishing spot. And so when he kicked out, honestly, I was a little bit surprised. I was like, holy shit, man, like that. Usually people don't kick out of that. Not a AA after second rope, man. AA usually just flattens everybody. But then he hit him.
Well, and not only that, that's a shitty finisher too.
I know.
I just want to say that. It's horrible.
But then he hits him with it again, then rolls through and hits him with it again. So I think if he would have hit him with it again and then pinned him and then AJ would have kicked out, that would have been horrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like the fact that he rolled through and did another one without even pinning him, just to say fuck this, I'm not even gonna go for a pin. I'm gonna make sure he's beat this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that part too. They could have done maybe without. Like I said, I don't want to pick on the match. I thought it was an awesome match. So I'd watch it again someday. I'm gonna go back and watch it again because I was on the edge of my seat, man. I was loving it, and it's kind of ever since that Michaels Taker match at 25 or whatever. I went back and watched that again a couple months ago, and it's the last 15 minutes of that match is just two of them doing finishers on each other. That's all the match is and that kind of started the ball rolling for this whole style that they do now, Mania and Rumble big matches, but. It's kind of weird too because people complain about Reigns kicking out everything. It's a double standard, isn't it? It's we can't keep Reigns down, but then we watch a match with Styles and Cena and they're kicking out a freaking goddamn nuclear bomb. We're like, oh, this is awesome. So it's kind of
well,
it's just we're kind of
I think it's done different.
Double standard central.
Well, I don't know if it's double standard. I think it's done different ways. So if Cena would have been, let's say Cena or AJ hit Cena with the brass knucks like that, and Cena kicked out. I think I would have said the same, or not the same thing, but I would have been like, okay, come on now, that's usually a match finisher, right? I don't know. It's just the way that Reigns has been booked, as in it takes 6 people to beat him.
Wow, the biggest difference is with the Styles and Cena match last night, they were treated as equals.
Yes.
So even though Cena was kicking out of everything. So was Styles.
Yes.
So it's holy crap. But when Reigns fights someone like Owens usually is Reigns beats people with his first or second Superman punch, but it takes the other guy 9 finishers and 3 people. So they're not. It comes across Reigns is being booked way stronger. At least in Styles Cena, it wasn't just Cena kicking out everything. Styles was also kicking out everything and makes him look like he's equal. That's the problem with all Reigns matches. They'll do 10 finishers on Reigns. He'll kick out every time and hit one Superman punch and pin the other guy. It's what?
Yeah, I agree.
It's so take that's why people bitch about the Reigns friggin' Superman material there.
Yeah, I think he's worse than what Cena ever was, in my opinion. Oh
God, yes.
Well, hold on now. Different Cena. So Cena against the Nexus was a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, that was the worst. But that was when Cena was at his peak then, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was a bit ridiculous when he was taking on 6, 7 guys at one time and winning. That was a bit nuts. But that's when everybody hated Cena. You know what I mean? Cena's one of those guys, like, I didn't like him before, and I don't even, I actually kind of like him at this point. Like, I don't even mind him by his, but I have some good matches. Like,
I don't mind him.
You
but
can't fault him for putting off a deadly match.
I don't hate him, but
most of the, like...
Yeah, but I find, like, Cena's kind of one of those guys where it's like, he ain't like Shawn Michaels or someone. Like, I find all of Cena's really good matches are with, like...
Good people?
I don't know. Well, yeah, like, CM Punk and, like, AJ Styles are his best matches. Like, well, first of all, CM Punk was in his prime, and AJ Styles best wrestler in the goddamn world. Like, I find Cena's... Like, watching him wrestle, like, he's super robotic, and, like, he's not fluid or anything. Like, I don't think he's a deadly wrestler, but he knows how to... He can tell a good story. Like, as an actual wrestler, he ain't Chris Benoit, that's for sure. But, I don't know, I find him, like, choppy, and you can hear him always shouting out spots, and he's, like, kind of robotic. Like, he moves... I don't know, he's just too... He's a big guy, right? So, I don't mind him, though, but I find, like, yeah, pretty much it depends on who he's wrestling. Like, okay, for example, look at these matches with fucking Ryback or someone, man. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, and look at his matches with, like, a lot of guys, and you're just like, oh, God, that match was horrible. When he's taking on Michaels or CM Punk or...
Even Owens or
AJ Styles.
Even Owens and Zayn, he put off some decent matches with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was the story, right? Like, he's good at that. He's got it down to a T. Like, with the Zayn and Owens matches, it was, can they beat Cena? And, like, Cena could tell that story really good. But, yeah, I'm not going to complain about the match. Like, well, the only complaint was it was a bit too many finishers, but 4.5, 4.25 stars for sure. It was match of the night.
Oh, for sure.
Which I thought was going to, like, going in, I thought it was going to be the Rumble.
Yeah, especially when we get into this shit show that we're about to talk about now. So,
well, is this like what is it? Deja vu? Everything every year it seems like the Rumble match itself is just a clusterfuck, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this one's just okay. So we start off with Jericho's number 2, right? So that was a highlight. Well, a bit of a highlight for me because I was like, I know Jericho's going to last a little while, and you know, you put him in there early. I knew he was going to last almost throughout the whole thing, so that was a good thing. But no, like I even texted you, I was like, what the fuck kind of Jobberville Rumble is this, man? First 10, 12 guys were absolute jobbers. Look at what fucking Kalisto, Mojo Rawley, and who else was in there? Fucking.
I gotta look to see who the entrants were in order.
Yeah, just read them out because it was fucking Jobberville, man. It was absolutely horrendous, I thought. And as it went on and on and on.
Okay, so yeah, like this is. The first, oh god. First of all, I don't want to cut you off, but like Big Cass and Enzo's promo.
Oh yeah.
That was like a precursor to this is going to be the worst wrestling match I've ever seen because I hate fucking Enzo, but I hate him even more. Last night, shut up, like just get in the match, like that was pissing me off. So that took the piss out of me. You know, you were just talking about Styles and Cena, and like you were all jacked and shit.
Yeah.
As soon as the boys came out, man, like, I can understand for, like, a couple of minutes. They start talking for, like, 15 minutes. I was like, and corny old stupid shit. I'm like, I just started getting drained. I was like, I think I'll go lay on the couch now. And I started laying, like, you know, just, that was a horrible, horrible promo to start the Rumble. But anyway, yeah, look, Jobberville, Jack Gallagher, Big Cass, Kalisto, Mojo Rawley, James Ellsworth, all these guys are in first 10.
Yeah, that's what
this is Jobberville used.
And it never really picked up until, like, Strowman came out.
Strowman came out at 7, and then Zayn came out. And then it picked up a little bit because the Big Show came out right after All In. And Dillinger came out.
Well, Strowman put out 7 people, I counted, in, like, the first 5-10 minutes he was in it. So I was like, alright.
He put out 7, yeah.
I was like, he's definitely on track now to fucking put out a bunch of people and be like, have a strong showing, which he kind of did. But then... Like
Lone Wolf.
Yeah, he gets put up with fucking Baron Corbin. So this is what everybody's. This is the big gripe that I've read online this morning. There's one of the big gripes with it is that all the eliminations in the whole match were done by the same people, like the big guys.
Well, here's the list of people who had 0 eliminations. 0. Bray Wyatt, Apollo Crews, Dolph Ziggler, Enzo Amore, Kofi Kingston, Sheamus, The Miz, Big E, Rusev, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Big Show, Ty Dillinger, James Ellsworth, Dean Ambrose, Kalisto, Big Cass, Mojo Rawley. None of those guys even eliminated one person, man. That was like over half the entrance right there.
I was reading earlier, they were saying that almost, it was like Strowman got 7, which I understand, he's a big dude, right? But then the rest went to like Goldberg, Lesnar, Do you know
Taker.
Orton won the Rumble, right? Spoiler alert. He eliminated one person
Yeah, they made one guy.
and won the Rumble. I'm like, so all right, we'll talk about this. So it was getting to the end of it. We're at probably like 25 when Lesnar came out.
Lesnar came at 26.
26. So we got to 26. 25 came out and then 26. So I was like, we had 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 5 guys left. 5 people left. You know that 3 of them are Lesnar, Goldberg, and Undertaker. So it only leaves 2 people that you're like, oh, who's going to come out? I wonder. Fucking 27's Enzo. So that killed me right there. I was like, what in the fuck is going on here? Enzo Amore's 27.
The Enzo thing was, I don't know, that was weird.
And then
I didn't expect that. I didn't even know he was in the match.
Fucking, I can't even. It makes me so angry. So number 30.
Well,
number 30 happens, and it's fucking Roman Reigns. Like, it gives me a headache even talking about it.
I know. Well, because he's in the title match already. Like,
and he gets 30 in the Rumble. Like,
he's like, it started off, and like there was a lot of stuff. Like, it's just a shit show booked match. Like, Jericho came in early, but he was outside the whole fucking match. They totally wasted him. Like, he didn't even do anything the whole match. He was like the longest time spent in a Rumble without actually doing anything. Like, they totally wasted him. But up until like Orton started coming in and Lesnar, I was bored silly. I was like, there's nothing happening.
Nothing did
happen.
Like,
they did a cup. Nothing happened. Like, Braun Strowman's a big guy and he eliminated some people. Oh, I've never seen that before. Yeah. Says every match in Royal Rumble history. So that's not like moving the needle for me. I'm like, I see this
the only like interesting elimination was like Gallagher, like when he did the whole like umbrella.
Yeah,
thing.
that was
funny.
I was gonna say to you earlier, like, you know, this Rumble is fucking shit when the only thing I can actually remember is Jack Gallagher with a freaking umbrella. Like, that was like the highlight of the whole. That was the highlight of the whole match as far as spots go. There was nothing. Like, I was just bored silly. I'm like, what's happening here?
Kofi's spot was like, stupid this year. I didn't even understand it.
It didn't even do anything. It wasn't even a spot, was it?
He just fell on the ring post and held on. Like,
but like, and then in between too, like from like 16 to 22, you had Sheamus, Big E, Rusev, Cesaro, Apollo Crews, and Xavier Woods come in. Like, not one got. Like, they say it was just so predictable. Like, they said it was going to be the most unpredictable Rumble, but you knew they were saving all the old farts who can't wrestle anymore for the end by the time it got to like 20. You're like, okay. And it just, like, in between, like, the first 10 were all jobbers, and then 15 to 20 were those guys. Like, it would have been nice to throw a surprise in there somewhere to pick the crowd back up, because when you got Sheamus, Big E, Rusev, Xavier, and Apollo coming in back to back, you kind of need something like. That's where, like, back in the day, you'd throw in a surprise or something just to pick everybody back up. So, boring, like, I just was bored senseless, and then
going into the
Rumble,
get into
what you were just talking about.
Going into the Rumble, to me, it was unpredictable because I didn't know what they were going to do. When it started, and I started to see a trend happening here, I was like, oh, I know exactly what they're going to do. Fuck all is what they're going to do. They're going to, like, just spin their wheels and do the same shit they've been doing forever.
Well, they mailed it in. Like, the actual Rumble match, they mailed it in fucking big time.
Blows me away. Like, so Reigns gets booed out of the goddamn building. They put him in twice, like in the title match and in this. Fucking Rollins is not even on the show.
Rollins didn't even show up.
Yeah, which boggles my mind. So what was the point of any of that? So.
Well, I don't know. Like,
James Ellsworth was in the Rumble and Seth Rollins wasn't.
Yeah, man. Enzo Amore was in the Rumble. And Seth Rollins, like, I know that they're doing it to build to a storyline, but here's the problem with the storyline: nobody gives a shit. Like,
and I don't know, because a lot of people were like, well, we were all expecting like Joe or Angle or somebody to debut, right?
Well, everybody, every year something happens. Like, man, like, this is like the reason why people purchase the pay-per-view. Hell, even on their pre-show with the WWE commentary team who works for WWE, they were selling the surprise entrance, like Renee Young and Lawler and Shawn Michaels and stuff and Booker. They were all like, my favorite part of the Rumble is the surprise entrance. You never know who you're going to. They were pumping it pretty big, like pumping the tires on the surprise entrance. And it happens every year. Like I said, even the shitty Rumbles, were like there's always like a guy or probably 4 or 5 entrants usually that's like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. It became like so clear by like the 20th entrant this year that there wasn't even going to be any surprises. I'm like, 30 was my only hope, and oh god.
Yeah. Like, I was expecting 30. I honestly was not. Talking about unpredictable, I did not expect number 30 to be Roman Reigns.
No. But, and could you someone please explain to me in kayfabe? Because I know this, like you said, this is fake, but there's still kayfabe. How in the hell does this make any sense at all? Like, this almost makes not as much sense as Shane and The Undertaker last year, which made no sense. But this makes no sense. He's on Raw. Triple H and Stephanie run Raw. Triple H and Stephanie literally spent 2 years leading up to last year's WrestleMania trying to keep Roman Reigns out of the main event and out of the title picture. That's all they lived for. Triple H made sure damn well he wasn't the champion. Fast forward like 8 months, Triple H and Stephanie are still in charge of Raw. Roman Reigns gets a title shot, second biggest show of the year. Then he gets put in the Rumble, and then he gets the best entrance spot in the Rumble. He gets 30th. What happened in the last 8? Like, kayfabe-wise, this makes no sense at all. And that's what takes the piss out of it. It's like, him coming out is bad enough. It's really bad, but when it's so obvious that he's just there because Vince got a hard-on for him, and it actually makes no sense, I swear to God, that's why people hate this guy so much. There's no rhyme or reason to Reigns coming out. If there was an actual storyline, then yes, like okay, that makes sense, but it's so clear he's just doing it because he wants Roman Reigns to be the focal point. There's no story to it. People just turn on the guy. Like, what? Come up with a reason. How this makes sense, considering he's on SmackDown. Maybe I can understand it because he got no gripe with Shane or with Daniel Bryan. But who's the guy on Raw that put him in 30th? Like, how? Just how?
But, like, how do you explain that then AJ Styles lost his belt? How come he didn't enter himself into the Royal Rumble like Reigns did to get another shot at his belt?
I don't know. How come?
Makes no sense, really.
And how come? So Reigns, there was the 30th spot was available and nobody to take it as of like an hour before the Rumble last night.
Yeah, like I said earlier, didn't Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins have to fight their way into it? Didn't they have a jobber battle royal on SmackDown for a spot in it?
Everybody had to, like, the only people that didn't have to fight their way into it was people that announced it like 3 months ago, like Goldberg.
Yeah. But the last spot was open the whole time. There was a spot open, obviously, because Reigns took it. So, if Reigns would have won the belt, then
nobody would have came out.
Would have been number 30. Like, you know what I mean?
Gerald Briscoe.
That's what I mean. People are going to listen. Oh, it was fake. It was all written that way. Blah blah blah. They're supposed to be suspending my disbelief and making me believe it's real. Is what the whole point of it is, right?
Yes, that is the point of wrestling.
Yeah, that's the point of anything. Really, you're watching a TV show. And you're not sitting there the whole time. I don't care about the show because it's fake and they're just actors. No, you get involved in a story because they're trying to tell a story. It's like reading a book. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's like Rollins wasn't there, and that's stupid. But in the back of my mind, I know they're trying to tell a story. I know, like, okay, they're trying to tell a story where he keeps getting screwed over by Triple H, and eventually he's going to snap, and blah, blah, blah. They're on the Mania to fight. So, I don't like it, but I know what they're trying to do. I can actually buy into it a little bit. Reigns coming in at number 30, like, kayfabe-wise and for the Royal Rumble makes no sense at all. But then...
Wouldn't it make more sense for, like... Alright, I understand Rollins was not in the Rumble. But wouldn't it make more sense for him at some point to run in, like, from the crowd and try to mess up the Rumble, to mess with Triple H? And start, like...
You would think he'd do
start
something.
Tossing people out and just being like... I'm going to fuck with the Rumble because I'm not in it and this is going to get back at Triple H. Wouldn't it make more sense? I don't know. Like...
Anything. Like, this is what I don't get. They shot an angle, but they shot it on NXT instead of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be honest with you, like, if you're purchasing the Royal Rumble, which most people are, you kind of want to save that stuff for the big show. Like, they shot it on NXT, which was fine. It worked on NXT, but I don't know.
If they would have followed up with it at the Rumble, would have been better.
Yeah. Like, it's not working. Like, everybody's just pissed off today again, and it doesn't...
It's weird because it's almost like they're trolling everybody.
I know,
it really is. It's like
ratings are in the... Like, does Vince think this works? Like, ratings are in the friggin' tank. House show attendance is the lowest it's ever been. Like, if they think, like, oh, because they got this new thing since Cena started where if people are mad, it is an emotion. So any kind of emotional reaction works. No, it doesn't, man. If people... they think that because everyone's mad today... Because nobody's even talking about... Oh, by the way, Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble. Nobody's even talking about
nobody
it.
Really cares.
Everyone's talking about everyone's talking about Roman Reigns because he came in number 30. But, like, that's not a good thing. People don't like him. If people liked him, it'd be a great thing. Everyone would be like, Roman Reigns, nobody likes him, man.
Also, this is another thing I got to touch on, too. So, Reigns comes out at 30. Obviously, that's a shitty move. Everybody's boo. It'd be different if he was a heel. Then he comes out and eliminates The Undertaker.
just to
the
get
person that like the crowd is like super behind. So are we making Reigns a heel? Like, is he supposed to be a bad guy?
He gotta be. He gotta be a heel.
Like, does Vince want him to be booed? I don't even understand it, man. Why would he? Like, I don't know. I don't get that. I know it's building towards Taker and Reigns at some point, but
no one wants to see that.
But like, why? Well, I don't understand. So why would? There's got to be a story behind that. You know what I mean? Like, you got to build up to that. You can't just be like, oh, Reigns wants to beat Taker because.
Not even for the streak anymore. But yeah, like Reigns got to go heel in this only because he kind of was a bit heelish at the end of the show, I guess, when he was looking at Undertaker like a bit of a dickhead or whatever. But
well, he said this is my. What he said? This is my yard now, or something. He said.
I don't know. They're gonna have a feud over whose yard it is, man. Like, how friggin' cheesy is that? This is my yard. I'm the big dog. I'm Big Evil. Remember when Undertaker was Big Evil? Yeah. Like, that's what the feud's gonna be over. But like, yeah, if they don't turn Reigns heel, Vince McMahon's an absolute nutcase. If he's gonna go in front of 80,000 people and fight the Undertaker of all people at WrestleMania, holy friggin' booed central! Like, if you're putting him in the worst position to get booed of anybody on the roster, you can get him to be cheered against. Pick anyone except the Undertaker. Like, seriously, the Undertaker is the only person that you're guaranteed to get 100% booed. So I don't understand. Like, they got to turn him heel, I guess, in the next, like, probably tonight or something. Because, man, you can't go fight the Undertaker at WrestleMania and expect to get cheered. I don't think anybody on the roster would get cheered against the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Like, unless, even last year against Shane, I'm pretty sure that most people were probably cheering for Undertaker still, even though Shane just came back. Like, it's his kind of like his ground, it's his territory, and he gets cheered no matter what happens. But another thing too is that pissed me off. Like this, and this pissed me off just as much as Roman Reigns. Is everyone's always talking about how these days, and I talk about it a lot, how wrestlers are like, I got no character and all that crap, and they're treated like jobbers all the time. Like Kevin Owens is booked like crap, and Rusev's a comedy character, and all this stuff. This pissed me off. Last night is a prime example of why WWE can't do anything without part-timers. The Goldberg, Undertaker, and friggin' Brock Lesnar came in and made every single person on the current roster look like a super jabroni, man. Like, and you wonder why they're not taken seriously. Like, these old farts come in once a year. They destroyed Sheamus. They destroyed Big E. They threw out everybody. They threw out Rusev. They threw out Woods. They threw out Harper. They just destroyed everybody. Like, those three fucks. Those three old farts came in and totally annihilated the current crop of wrestlers. And then you're wondering why people are like, oh, today's wrestlers can't sell out at WrestleMania. That's why they got to go get part-timers. But yeah, because they're treated like shit. Well, yeah, like, as soon as they all came in, they're
not being built correctly, that's all.
Man, watch the Rumble again. Like, seriously, watch the last 10 minutes when they all came out. Every single one of the current stars, mid-card, Dean Ambrose got tossed out by Brock Lesnar, and they didn't even talk about it. He just like, bye, see you later. It's like...
But Ambrose, I don't know. Ambrose was WWE champion fucking last year, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that drove me nuts. As soon as they came out, I was like, oh, here we go. And it's just funny because everyone always talks about it, and that's the reason why, man. Watch that Rumble. Like, casual people watching are just like, the new wrestlers have no chance against the old wrestlers, and because of the way they're booked. Like, Goldberg friggin' annihilating people, and old 70-year-old Undertaker out there tossing out today's talent. Like, it's like no big deal. He's just like, see ya, bye, gone, throw him out, bye. And
especially when he looks...
The whole Rumble is...
Listen, like, I got no problems with Undertaker, but he looks horrendous. Like, he doesn't look like he's in shape at all. He moves so slowly, and it's not his fault. He's obviously an older guy, right? Like, but he doesn't look believable in the fact that he'd be out there destroying, like, Rusev, like you said. Like, I don't get it. I really don't understand. Different with something like Jericho. But Jericho doesn't look his age. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, Jericho doesn't look like he's, almost 50 years old or whatever he is. I mean, even Lesnar, even I said to Stacey last night, I was like, boy, it looks like Lesnar's after putting on a bit of weight. Like, he doesn't look as muscular as he did like last year, even the year before.
No, he's starting to look like an old man.
Yeah, and, well, Goldberg, but, I mean, they all... I don't really get it. Now, this is one thing I want to talk about is that, well, like I mentioned earlier, and I mean, everybody's been harping on it and everything else, but like Samoa Joe debuting and this kind of stuff, and they kind of like were alluding to it because Joe hasn't been on NXT in a while, and they showed him in the crowd at NXT Saturday night almost as if like we know he's still around, he's not injured, maybe he'll show up tomorrow night kind of deal. But I've heard a lot of stuff online, especially from the WWE people or people that used to be. Jimmy Corderas is who I actually seen on Twitter talking about it. And he said that he didn't think that Joe should have debuted unless he was winning the Rumble. Which I totally disagree with. Because they debuted AJ Styles last year. Fuck, he didn't win the Rumble. And look at him now. That didn't hurt him whatsoever. So I think you could have debuted anybody last night. They don't necessarily have to win the Rumble to look strong in the Rumble. You know what I mean?
No.
And I'm not. It's not even so much just for Joe. Debut anybody. Listen, they debuted Ty Dillinger. What did Ty Dillinger do last night? Name one thing he did.
I don't even
He
know.
didn't do fuck all. I don't even remember him being in the match, actually.
All I got, that jacket, he's hideous.
But even still, I remember him coming down to the ring, and then that's it. He didn't do absolutely anything. I don't even know who put him out. It doesn't even matter. So, there you go. He's already fucking eat. He's not, you know what I mean? They debuted him to nothing. He would have been better to debut on, like, Raw against somebody else, like a mid-carder guy, than debuting in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, like I agree. You don't have to win. There's no shame in debuting and losing to 29 other superstars. That's not exactly being buried, is it?
No, and like you said, you can be.
Oh, I showed up and I didn't win the Royal Rumble, so I was buried. No, that's not how it works. Like I said, all these guys, a lot of people came in. Lots of people came in the Rumble and looked fantastic and didn't win. Like that's kind of one of the good things about the Rumble is you can look strong without winning. Like freaking Mr. Perfect came back in like 2002 and made it to the Final Four. And he didn't win, but like everyone was raving how strong he looked, and he was in the main event for a couple months after that just because he had a good showing. Like Styles last year is another example, like you said.
But
the surprise entrants were.
So for example,
horrible.
Strowman came in at what, like 7? You said or something? Something like that.
7,
Let's say Strowman comes in at 7.
It was.
Let's say Strowman's in there fucking just destroying everybody, kind of cleans house like he did. He eliminated like 7 guys, and he was kind of cleaning house. So it leads people to believe like, oh, who's going to stop Strowman? Okay, so you have fucking Samoa Joe come out, right? Or anybody, really, that you're trying to build up as a star.
Corbin?
Not Corbin. And you have him come out, and it's a big face-off, and then the two of them, it's a big battle. Have them go at it, basically tearing apart everybody else, until, like, Lesnar comes out. Then it makes it feel like a big deal, like, oh, now we got Lesnar into it against fucking Strowman and this other big guy, or the person they're trying to build up. That makes them look strong and makes them believable that they're can stand in the ring with Strowman, Lesnar, Goldberg, these guys. I don't think it makes them weak at all, man. Then have them tossed out by fucking anybody, really. Taker comes in, toss him up by. Tell you what, getting tossed out by Undertaker in the Royal Rumble doesn't really make you look weak now, does it? Like, they're trying to build him as the dead man. They're trying to build him as this big deal. So getting tossed out by him is not going to hurt you.
No, it's just that when he guys like him and Goldberg come in and toss people out at will, it just I don't know. Like I agree with what you're saying.
It doesn't work for me, obviously. Like we just said, they're old men. They shouldn't be tossing the guys out. But
well, they don't need to toss people out because they're already Undertaker's freaking 30 years into his career. Like he don't need to make Rusev and Xavier Woods look like chumps to make sure everyone realizes he's the dead man. Like he doesn't like these guys are trying to build a future with Big E and Xavier and Rusev, and Undertaker just comes in and tosses them all like chumps. Why? He's the Undertaker. He don't need it. The Undertaker can come in and take a shit in the middle of the ring, and he's still going to main event WrestleMania. Why are you sacrificing your future on a guy that can hardly even walk? And he doesn't need to be over. Like Goldberg can't even run off the ropes. Did you see him try to go off the ropes last night? That was what the hell was that? It was the most awkward thing I've ever seen in my life. He tried to go off the ropes. He couldn't even run. Like I understand, like they need big names, but yeah, like of the new guys of the new crop, like last 5-6 years, the only person last night that looked remotely decent was Strowman, wasn't it? Like of the current roster.
Sure, yeah. He's the only one that I can remember looking strong. The rest of them just I don't even. That's the big thing about this Rumble. It's forgettable until the end, and then it's. That end moment is memorable for the wrong reasons. So we've only mentioned like twice so far in this whole rant about that Orton actually fucking won.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody's talking about fucking Orton. Like, I didn't even care that Orton won. Honestly, like, I swear to God, like, there's 2 things that would have changed, and I thought it would have been a good show. One, if the the old farts didn't come out and destroy everybody, I would have been okay with that. But if there just would have been a few surprises along the way, and then at the end Orton won, I probably would have been like, good, pretty good, pretty good. But like the fact that Mark Henry was their biggest surprise, really? He's still like semi-active wrestler. He's not even retired. The biggest surprise last night was fucking Mark Henry, man. So it's like that's all they needed to do, and they sell their pay-per-view on it. So that's why I'm bitching so much. Bitch, bitch, bitch. It's not the way it should be. Like everyone's waiting for Angle or like Joe to come out, and friggin' Roman Reigns. Like you could not have picked a worse person. So, like you said about the movie thing, man, it just kind of leaves like sour taste in your mouth, right?
Yeah, like I said, no matter how good it is, like, it's bad at the end, and then it's bad.
Yeah. So what do you give it out of 10? Well, let's give it a grade out of 10. The whole show, not just the match, I guess. But
man, the whole show.
What's your rating? Yeah, don't include the pre-show because that's 9 hours of just. Nothing.
Yeah, I didn't even really watch it, so. I'm gonna say the whole show maybe a 6.
Yeah, I was thinking 6 or 7.
Like I said, it's just because the Rumble the Rumble's half the show. The Rumble was like
pretty much.
The Rumble was like an hour and a half long or something, and boy, when you got like almost half your show is crap, you can't really give it much more than, you know what I mean? If Cena and Styles wasn't that good wasn't as good as what it was, it would have got a way lower. You know what I mean? Really, if the show would have ended right there after Cena and Styles, it'd probably be a fucking 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Really, right? But
oh, it definitely peaked right there.
But as the Rumble happened, this is another funny thing about the Rumble. Did you see this online today about the golf carts?
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Like, so they didn't show that on TV.
Yeah, the fucking ramp was so long that some of the guys had to be golf carted down to the fucking ramp.
Well, apparently, like pretty much all the big guys that are like slow friggin' people had to be.
Yeah.
I didn't see it on TV. I see a picture. I thought fuck Tiger Woods was coming in the Rumble or something. I was like, what's going on here? Surprise entrant? Again, friggin' Arnold Palmer comes out.
So, like, they cut away. A bunch of people were saying they were. I never really noticed it, but when I think back, there was a couple of really, really weird cutaways. So, like, let's say Strowman, he was one of the ones that was carted down. Like, when he came out, they basically showed him walking out. Then it cut back to the ring. And then he was crawling, he was getting up over the ropes. But that's because he hopped on a fucking golf cart and somebody drove him to the ring. They did it.
There was an old lady driving it.
They did it with Strowman, Big Show, Mark Henry, Big E, Wyatt. That's the pictures I've seen so far. Of like this.
Yeah, some like freaking Mexican lady was golf carting them.
Yeah, and there's like a thing for them to hold on to so they didn't fall over and stuff.
It's like, remember we were talking about, where I was texting you about the lack of creativity or whatever that they have? Like, so like, if this was like 25 years ago, remember when they had the little wrestling ring at the old team?
Yeah, at WrestleMania.
Like WrestleMania 6? These days, oh no, don't even try to make it look good, people. Just get a friggin' golf cart. Like, a regular golf cart. Why couldn't they wrap it with something or make it look like at least it belonged at the show? Like, it just looked ridiculous watching a monster 7-foot Braun Strowman all timid and everything, just getting a ride back from some old lady. Like, this doesn't really fit his character, does it? Undertaker's dead man. He's not even alive. He's not even human. But he's on the back of an old cart, like, having a casual conversation with some old friggin' Spanish missus. Like, I don't understand. Like, maybe that was a shit show too. Well,
it ruins it for the people who are in the audience watching it, right? Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, it takes the allure away. You don't know when you see his old Taker getting a ride out.
Well, really, why the fuck was it so long if they had to do that? You know what I mean? Didn't somebody say, okay, the entrance ramp's 56 yards wide, long. We got to get a fucking golf cart to bring these fellers down here, or the 2 minutes is going to be up by the time they gets there. Didn't somebody say, yo, man, we shouldn't have made the entrance ramp so goddamn long then? Like, why wasn't it just
I don't know. I guess it's because they had to put the ring in the middle of the building, I guess, and the building's so long, like, you couldn't put, I don't know, like, I'm assuming that the ring has to go in the middle or people will get screwed over buying tickets, wouldn't they?
But they have had, like, shows at the Alamo Dome before. They didn't have to have fucking 4 football fields between the fucking entrance ramp and the ring.
Why? I'm pretty sure the last show at the Alamo Dome was that Royal Rumble 20 years ago, and everybody in that match was under the age of 60 at least, anyway. Maybe, like, that's the thing, like, all these people that were coming out, like, oh, freaking, like you said, Lesnar looks like he's 70 all of a sudden. He had a bad summer or a bad winter, didn't he? Like, Manitoba? He looks like friggin' what's he been
I don't
into?
know.
Like eating moose meat or something? Like he went from he looked like 35 last summer. Now he looks like he's like in his 50s. Like I don't know what ever since he moved to Canada, Canada's eating, buddy. Like
Well, I noticed it last night. I mentioned to my wife, I was like, he looks like he's after getting now. I'm not gonna say he's after getting fat because he's nowhere even close to being fat.
no, not
But
fat.
he's after getting flabbier. Like he's not as muscular as what he was. Like when he was in the UFC, man, that fella was fucking jacked. You know what I mean?
I think he was jacked like just last year.
Well, and that's what I mean. Even when he come back and like his little like run there that he was doing, but lately he just looks. I don't know if they told him to start like putting on a bit of weight so he doesn't look as intimidating with Goldberg. Like,
Well, they don't have to worry about making him look intimidating. They're doing a good enough job of making him look like a retard anyway with this Goldberg thing. That's another thing I want to touch on. I don't know, like, Survivor Series one thing, that was alright, like, cool. Like, anything could happen in a real fight in kayfabe, but Goldberg making Lesnar look like a fucking joke, boy.
again
Like,
last night. Yeah.
again last night, like, he comes in, he's like, yeah, and does his whole thing. And within, like, 4 seconds, Lesnar's put out, like, I was like, okay. I was like, listen, man, like, Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar. Seriously, I can take one time it happening, like, he wasn't on his game at Survivor Series, he got caught off guard, but Brock Lesnar, that's gonna happen twice. So, for some reason, like, they're doing this storyline where Goldberg's got Lesnar's number, but as far as I'm concerned, he just made Goldberg look like a moron, isn't he? Like,
Well, I think it should be competitive. The first time, like you said, okay, he underestimates him, and it was kind of a lucky shot or whatever. But I don't think last night. I don't think that should have happened, in my opinion. When it happened, I was like, again with this. You know what I mean?
yeah, like it's
Goldberg's not a fucking chump, man. Like Lesnar's not a chump. Lesnar's Lesnar. Like this is the fella who destroyed Cena, like you said earlier. This is the fella who's destroyed Ambrose last year.
it's the fella that broke the streak, man.
Yeah, and now he's looking super weak. So,
But he broke the streak, and he's getting beat up by some old man.
like you said, the first time I could see it happen, it was a shock factor, yada yada yada. But this time, it's like, wouldn't he have expected it? Like, shouldn't he have expected Lesnar to put up that kind of fight and at least, I would have rather seen two of them like have a competitive little fight there in the Rumble, and someone like Strowman or somebody knock both of them out at the same time. That makes them seem like equals, right? That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I would have done the same thing. Like, it's classic WWE Vince Triple H. Like, I think Triple H, seriously, mark my words, people, and I ain't just saying this because I'm not a huge fan of Triple H, but he ain't no better than Vince. He's probably worse because Vince, at the end of the day, is the greatest wrestling promoter of all time, whether you people likes it or not. He is. Every memory you have of wrestling, every childhood memory, every pay-per-view you've enjoyed, every time you sat down and had some beers with your friends, all because of Vince McMahon. He is the man. But this, I'm telling you right now, this Triple H thing, he's had a touch just as much, if not worse. Like, this is going to be bad when Vince dies. I'm telling you, it's going downhill. Like, because it's classic. They did something at Survivor Series that shook up the wrestling world, where Goldberg beat Lesnar. It, like, shocked everybody. So, classic Vince and Triple H, let's do it again. It worked in November. It's like, the reason why it worked in November is because it was a complete fucking shock, you idiots. 2 months later, they did it again last night. Now it just makes Lesnar look like an idiot. Like, he's classic for, oh, that worked a couple months ago. NWO, how many times did they bring that back? Oh, that worked. Let's do it again. No, the only reason why it worked the first time is because it was the first time. The only reason why that worked in Survivor Series is because it was actually a shocker. You do it again 2 months later, it's kind of like, not a shocker anymore. It just, to me, anyway, that was stupid.
Well, it's like beating a dead horse. It's like what they did with NWO when they kept trying to bring it back, and DX when they kept trying to bring it back. And
oh, God. Little People's Court?
yeah. Like,
okay. Like, that was the worst thing I ever seen in my life, Little People's Court? Like, really? But anyway, so, yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm pissed off. Like, I know this is just a bitch fest, but, like, I was jacked for that show, man. Like, they almost did it. They almost pulled off, like, a good show. And we're not just harping on any show. Like, remember the first SmackDown pay-per-view a few months ago? I praised that shit. That was a good show.
Well, I'm praising this show. I'm praising the Rumble, except for the Rumble match itself. Everything but that was good.
Horrible. It was fucking horrible. What about the Big Show? That makes no sense. Big Show leaves, loses like 400 pounds, comes back looking in the best shape of his life, got thrown out in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I don't...
Like, It was just so much so.
The booking
like,
ruined it. It was really badly booked. Whoever was the producer,
horribly booked.
Whoever was the producer of that show or that match, sorry, really dropped the ball in my opinion, man. Like, I'm sure it was probably a team of them that did it, but whoever booked it and whoever had the last say in what was going on really like fucked it, I think. And I'm actually praying for the day. Like, I can't wait to the day when they realize that Roman Reigns is not getting over.
Okay.
I really do, man.
Yes, man. Like, so I was thinking about it too, and I might have read this last night somewhere. I can't remember, but it's been on my mind all day because I read a lot of shit. But what was it? So 2014, Roman Reigns eliminated the most people ever and was one of the last two guys left, him and another guy, right? 2014. 2015, Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. Okay? 2016, he entered number 1 last year and went the distance right till the end. It was all about him again. That's 3 in a row. This year, right at the end, it becomes all about Roman Reigns. 4 Royal Rumbles in a row now. And Vince is wondering why people are booing this son of a bitch. 4 Rumbles in a row. Thrown out to most people, won it, entered number 1. The whole story is about Roman Reigns, and this year he comes in last and everyone's talking about that's all they do. They're pushing him down his throat for 4 straight years, man. So it's like, and no, I'm done. I'm done talking about Roman Reigns because I'm gonna kill someone.
And it's one of those things.
I hate him
because like the way they booked, they could book. I can understand if like it was just the internet wrestling community that hated Reigns and like he was actually loved by everybody else, right? So I can understand that. But the crowd's booing him. He walks out to this like thundering boos. Almost the whole crowd is booing him. Yeah, you can hear a few like women and children cheering him you know what I mean, off the distance, but the majority are booing him. I get up today, I look at the internet, 95% of people on the internet are fucking bitching about it. Who does he think is their fans? I do know. Listen, I know some casual wrestling fans. My sister's a casual wrestling fan. She likes Roman Reigns. You know why she likes Roman Reigns?
I don't know, because he looks like a duck.
Well, because the way he looks. He's a muscular Samoan, long hair. He looks like fucking Jason Momoa from fucking Game of Thrones, right? Like,
okay, does your sister buy WrestleMania?
No, that's what I mean.
Well, then who gives a shit?
That's what I mean. She's a casual wrestling fan. She just sees how he looks. You know what I mean? For example, back in the day, like late 90s, early 2000s or whatever, when I was dating my now wife, she used to watch wrestling with me. She loved The Rock. She didn't love The Rock because he could wrestle. She didn't love The Rock because he cut a promo. She loved The Rock because she thought he was hot.
Oh, yeah. But she's not buying pay-per-views either, is she?
So this is what I don't get. So these people, so let's say, for example, my nephew who is a wrestling fan and wants to go see wrestling. His mom brings him to see WWE, and she's going to cheer Roman Reigns because she thinks Roman Reigns is hot. She doesn't know he's a fucking good wrestler or whatever else. So she's the one in the crowd cheering. Somebody right now, like somebody who actually watches wrestling, who's actually buying the pay-per-views, who's actually into the product, is booing Roman Reigns. So is Vince thinking that these casual fans who don't even watch the product, who just know the names, is that who he's trying to pander to and try to get them drawn in with somebody like Reigns?
That's exactly what he's doing. But it doesn't work because he's an idiot, but that's exactly what he's doing.
At the same time, aren't you betraying the people who watch your product? You know what I mean? That's almost like having a store. You got a restaurant. You serve like this deadly spaghetti and meatballs dish, and you got 200-300 people a week coming into your restaurant eating that specific dish, and then you say, well, you know what? I think I'm going to change that dish and see if I can get these other 200 or 300 people in by some chance. Aren't you betraying your fan base or your customer base that you already have? I can understand trying to change up a bit, but you don't change what you have to try to get something else. Keep what you have, add to it, or add something else to try to pull in everybody else. For example, back in the 90s, you had Austin, right? So Austin had his core group of fans. That's who Austin brought into the show. Then you had The Rock. The Rock brought in a different group of people who liked The Rock. Then you got Mankind, Rick Foley. They brought in his different kind of fans, different kind of people who tune in to see him. DX, the same deal. That made to come together to make a good product. Nowadays, it's basically like, do you like Roman Reigns? If not, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Too bad. Yeah. He's 95% of the show. I guarantee you tonight, we'll watch fucking Raw. It's going to open with Stephanie. Shocker. Oh, God. It's going to open with this whole Stephanie Seth Rollins thing. You're going to have Reigns probably going to come out and interrupt her or some bullshit.
But Reigns is advertised, he was advertised to take on Strowman, which I think they're hot-shotting this angle for Fastlane, so I think they might, I don't know.
That's not going to happen tonight, I bet you. Something's going to happen there.
Like, Vince is, it doesn't, like, everything you just said is 100% accurate, but I wouldn't have agreed with you, say, 4 years ago when they started pushing Reigns, because I would have said, let's give it a chance and see. Maybe it'll work. Like when they pushed Cena and lots of girls and young kids like Cena, but they actually caught on to Cena and liked him. Like those boos you heard were for people like me and you. The other half were cheering him. They actually were cheering him. So, but it's failed. It's not working. So everything you just said is 100% true because it's been like 4 years, man. And it's like Vince is like thinking this is like, why do people watch Baywatch in the 90s? To see tits and ass, wasn't it? Why were you watching Baywatch as a kid? Because of the storyline?
God, no.
Exactly, you're watching to see Pamela Anderson's ass and tits. That's why you watch the show. So Vince is taking that approach. Well, women like Roman Reigns, so we'll push them and they'll tune into our show to watch Roman Reigns. No, they won't, because it's not working. They tuned in to watch Cena. Yes, they did, because it worked. Some things work, some things don't. So goes life.
The big difference.
That's how she fucking goes. The big difference with Cena. It's not working with Reigns.
The big difference with Cena. When Cena started, Cena's first 4 years, he wasn't getting that kind of reaction though. Cena was.
No, he's Thug Life.
Cena was like the Doctor of Thugonomics. He was almost like a heel at first.
Well, he was a heel for a couple of years.
And it wasn't until like, I'd say probably like 2008, 2009 maybe, he started to get that like Cena's.
No, I think it was like 2005. I think is when he had turned up. Like 2006, One Night Stand. When he took on Rob Van Dam, there was literally going to be a riot. That's when it goes way back. Like Cena's been getting booed for 11 years.
Yeah, that's when he was getting booed, and that was basically there was no chance he was getting cheered in.
Yes, but people actually bought. The thing is house show was good. Pay-per-view buys were good. People didn't like him, but he was a star. That's what I'm saying. It's just they're trying the thing with Reigns, and people are booing him. But it's X-Pac heat. Nobody is actually purchasing more tickets. Nobody's going. It worked with Cena. It's not working with Reigns, but Vince can't see it. He's like, oh, he's getting booed like Cena did. It worked for Cena. Yeah, well, it worked for Reigns too. No, it's a totally different vibe with Reigns. People just do not like him.
Well, that's what I mean. Like
Cena sold tickets.
Cena's thing, you could. It was almost like the crowd was split with Cena. Get like.
Well, they were 100%.
Well, 50-50 was like cheer boos. I find with Reigns it's like a fucking 90-10. You know what I mean? 90% of the crowd's booing him. Like he comes up to these thunderous boos. Just like when a down hits you, here's just like boo.
Oh, God.
To the point where they're actually dumbing down the boos on TV.
It's actually uncomfortable to watch.
Well, they're actually changing the audio so you don't hear so much booing.
Yeah. Not only that, man.
That boggles my mind.
But the thing is too is like the Cena Reigns. That's not even a comparison because there's another thing too. Besides the fact that, well, first of all, Cena has more charisma and actually sold tickets. Cena can talk. That's what a concept, eh? Cena can actually speak, man. He's good on the mic. He always has been. Roman Reigns. This is another thing. They're pushing this guy like he's the savior of the company. The man can't even talk. He has the worst promo in the history of professional wrestling. It's like Chris Benoit, Jeff Hardy, cringeworthy. His promos. Oh man, aren't they the most uncomfortable thing to watch when he's talking? You're like, oh my god, this is like horribly awkward.
Well, it's just so massively scripted. He can't speak, so he's reading off a script. You can hear it. He's back there probably like practicing these lines all day. So he's up there like reading it off a piece of paper almost. What was he said? What was he said one day? Like he made Yabba Dabba Doo or something. He was fucking getting out with like catchphrases from like Flintstones and stuff one day, man.
Oh yeah.
Like.
Well, he was doing like friggin' superhero and Flintstone catchphrases.
I couldn't even believe it, man. I was like, what is he talking about?
Like him and Titus O'Neil are in the running for like the worst on the mic. Because like Reigns is horrible on the mic. Like you look at, I don't know, it's just one of those weird things, man. Like we're gonna have to keep bitching about it. I guess whatever Vince has got, like maybe he's got fucking tape of Vince banging a horse or something, and he doesn't want to get out, so he's pushing him. I don't know, but it's a mystery. Like, there's no other wrestler ever. Like, you made the comparison to Luger one time, you remember? You said you heard it? And I said, like, yes, but after, like, 6 months, Vince was like, well, this ain't working, and gave up. So, the parallel ends pretty quick, because it was like, Luger went from, like, SummerSlam 93 till him and Brett were in the Rumble, and he got booed and Brett got cheered. That was it for Luger. 6 months later, Vince was like, well, he's not working.
Well, this is...
And he put him in a tag team with British Bulldog, and he was a bunch of losers.
Yeah. So like, this is compared into, like, imagine if the Luger push would have lasted till, like, 97. You know what I mean? Can you imagine Luger rolling around in the fucking Lex Express in, like, 97?
Friggin', yeah, like, friggin' summer 98, there's old Luger going around with the old patriotic music playing and everything, going up body slamming Yokozuna again.
And the whole time, like, Austin and everybody's in the background being all, like, Attitude Era-ish, and fucking Luger's still just doing his old, like, regular thing.
Yeah, that is the same thing, that's what I mean. Like, they gave, Vince, like, back in the day had enough sense anyway to go, like, okay, this is just not working. But this time, like I said, like, the last 4 Rumbles we just talked about with Reigns, like, man, it's been like half a decade. It's like, Vince, just give it up. But anyway.
Do you think that maybe it's because of the lack of competition? That they don't need to change. They don't need to change because there's nowhere else to go. You know what I mean? So
yes, but there's got to be other people on the roster that, like,
you know what I'm saying though. Like back in the '90s, back in the late '90s, or even the mid '90s to the late '90s, you had WWE was their competition. So they almost had to step their game up because there was somebody else out there that was on their level, right? Nowadays, they can continue to push Reigns, and they can continue to do what they're doing. People are still going to watch, because what else are you going to watch? Fucking Impact? Come on.
I don't know. Yeah, you get no choice, really. But at the same time, even if there's no competition, like, if you were in a business and it was, like, this is what confuses me, like, and you were selling a product that nobody else was selling, and you were selling, like, 50,000 units of this product a month, but someone came up to you and said, bye, if you just take your manager that you have now, he's not working out very well, and you put this guy in, you'll sell 100,000 units instead of 50 a month. No, keep him there. Why would that don't make it? That's what Vince is doing. Reigns is selling 50,000 units a month. But you could have a guy like Samoa Joe come up or something and actually get over, or Daniel Bryan did, and sell 100,000. Why would, even with no competition, why wouldn't you want to make more money? Which leads me to think Vince wants to suck his dick. Like, I can't think of anything else. Like, every now and then Vince gets a hard on for someone, and it's few and far between. But every now and then he gets like a man crush, and when he does,
has this, like,
oh god,
in all history, in all of WWE's history, has it failed as bad as this? Really though, like, all of his man crushes have been like,
yeah, Shawn Michaels turned out to be like one of the best wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, so you're looking at that kind of deal. Even if you had a man crush like The Rock, The Rock turned out good. Maybe that's why he's continuing going, because he believes that if he continues just pushing and pushing, it's going to end up working out eventually. But I mean, because everybody else that he kind of got a hard on for, it kind of fizzled away pretty fast. You know what I mean? Even the XFL, sure, fuck's sakes, like, he had a whole thing with that died horribly.
Died a horrible death, yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe, yeah. Like, maybe that's what I don't know. Like, that's what I don't get, is he's just like, and the thing is, he don't treat Ambrose like this. He doesn't treat Rollins like this. He gives Reigns this, I don't know what it is, this special treatment that nobody else on the roster, not even Cena, gets. And no one will ever be able to explain it to me. Like, I don't understand it. And you know what? Everyone blames it on Vince. And Triple H is pretty much the guy pretty much running it right now. Like, he's in Vince's ear. Maybe Triple H got a man crush on him. I don't know.
Somebody there does, man. Maybe Steph's like...
Is somebody there, yeah?
Stephanie's doing him on the side or something.
Like, yeah, like, if, like, it just makes any sense. Like, if you were a wrestling promoter and I came up to you and said, Johnny, man, you can have this guy who is shit on the mic. He has a good look. But he's shit on the mic. It's an era of wrestling where people don't care about how big you are and how you look. They want to see you wrestle and talk, which is what people like these days. You can have him. He's shit on the mic, and he's a decent wrestler, but nobody likes him. Do you want him? You go, yeah, I'll take him. Do you want to make face of your company? You go, no, of course not. Like, I'll go ahead and pick the guy that's over. When did wrestling promoters start pushing people just for... Because Vince never did this before. Vince always pushed people that just got over. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, I don't understand when Vince's philosophy changed. Cena was over before Vince pushed him. I watched old Cena matches from like 2003 before he got pushed. He was mad over. It used to be, when you got over, Vince's eyes lit up and went, we got to push that guy, he's over. These days, is it just me, or he just handpicks someone and tries to make him get over? It's the total opposite of how wrestling's worked for like 100 years.
Well, because I
Like-
remember when the Shield debuted, Reigns was not the standout from the Shield for me when I was watching anyway.
No, Dean Ambrose was.
For sure was. When you watched the Shield when it came out, I guarantee you, the first person I thought, I was like, all right, so the breakout star from this is Ambrose, because Ambrose
me too.
He's got a different character. He was the one who talked all the time. He's the one who did all the speaking. He just seemed a bit more eccentric and a bit more out there, right? And just had a bit more of a character. And it just seemed like Reigns was the dumb muscle, right? So, for example, let's say you had what's a good stable like that had like that? I don't know, even like the Freebirds back in the day. Can you imagine if Terry Gordy was a bigger star than, you know what I mean, than Michael Hayes or any of those? Imagine if Arn Anderson was the bigger star than Ric Flair. Yeah. He wasn't supposed to be. He was the muscle of the group. He didn't do the speaking. He was just the guy who beat people up. That's what I got from Reigns in the Shield. He just seemed like the guy who was just there to beat people up.
But when did it change? Like, that's the thing. When did it change? Like, at what point did Vince go, Rollins and Ambrose, you guys are good, but wow, we're picking Reigns? Like, what happened?
It's weird because even when they broke up, it seemed like Rollins was getting the push because he was the one who turned on him and went with the authority. But Ambrose got fucking shit on at that point. Like, he went nowhere after that because he was getting put in, like, just matches with, like...
Boy, he was in a old U.S. title feud with freaking Kofi Kingston for, like, 2 years or something,
he just kind of left. For a while there, I was like, boy, did Ambrose forget that he got turned on at all? Didn't make any sense. And then
I just want to hit on one thing here because we're like an hour and 6 minutes in. And I hate Reigns, and you hate Reigns, and anyone that listens to this is going to be like, why is this bitch about Reigns? Like, fuck Roman Reigns anyway. Because I actually, like, to the point where I'm going to turn it off. And congratulations, Vince. You have fucking done it. Because I actually hate him. Like, this is not... So, yeah. But I just want to mention one thing here. So, as of right now, and I know a lot can change. I just want to hit on this really quick. Because this is mad disturbing, by the way. Please, God, tell me this is not true. But you do realize that as of right now, the WrestleMania main event is Cena and Orton. As of this moment. Like, as of Tuesday, tomorrow night... When they talk about it, it's Cena versus Orton. Tell me you realize that.
Yeah, this is fucking 2008 all over again.
For the 500 millionth fucking time. Right now, Randy Orton is scheduled to face John Cena at fucking WrestleMania. If that happens, I'm seriously putting a fucking bullet in his face. Like, I cannot watch that match again. It never worked anyway. Those two never clicked. Like, they never had chemistry. Their matches are all trash. It was supposed to be like Hogan and Macho and Hart and Michaels and shit of that era, but it just didn't work. And so right now it's Orton, Cena, Reigns, and Taker, which is going to be like, will that be the worst match of WrestleMania history?
Probably, yeah. It's going to be slow.
Like, seriously. Like, Styles versus Shane is scheduled too, I think, which is like this WrestleMania. Orton, Cena, Reigns, Taker, and Styles versus Shane makes me seriously want to never watch wrestling again, ever.
Yeah, they got to shake that up a bit, man. Like.
Man, they gotta do something with that. Like, they gotta do something with Orton Cena for sure. Oh my god. That's it. That's all I got to say. Please, God.
I'd like to see Wyatt and Orton. See, to me, that should build now till Mania, and then Orton turns on Wyatt and he has a match at Mania. To me, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah.
You're gonna get Goldberg versus Lesnar at Mania. That's happening. You're gonna get Taker versus Reigns. That's gonna happen.
Oh my god. No.
Styles versus Shane should not happen ever. No. I'd rather Styles take on anybody else. It doesn't matter who it is.
Bring Joe in as a heel, or bring Joe in as a face or something and take on Styles. They got so much history. Like, Joe is ready to come up. Styles has nobody to fight at Mania. They got a huge history together. This writes itself. Like, this doesn't need to be for the belt either. Like, they go way back. This can get personal and have like a personal feud. That's all they got to do.
I know how they like to push names, right? Because I was just thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool if, like, at some point, AJ Styles pisses off Shane, right? And then Shane brings in somebody to fight Cena at Mania, but it's a mystery opponent or some bullshit like that. And at Mania, we're all waiting to know, like, see who Styles is fighting, and then Joe comes out. I know they won't do it because Paul Heyman said it on that fucking weird show they had there a couple weeks ago. Remember, it was like him and JBL talking and
Yeah,
stuff.
JBL.
And they talked about surprise entrances entrance in the Royal Rumble, and Heyman said he didn't like it because he felt that the guys should be, you should know who's going to be in the Rumble beforehand, so you can get excited about it, and they can push these guys and the names, and people buy tickets and buy for the people who are in it, not who they think is going to be in it, which I don't agree with whatsoever. But that's why they won't do something like that at Mania. If they're going to have Styles versus Samoa Joe at Mania, they're going to try to fucking... That's going to be pushed, you know what I mean? They want that name out there to get people's interest.
Well, they won't do it anyway.
No, but if they were going to, they would put that name out there.
Well,
right?
yeah, like, I'd do it for, like, a B-pay. I wouldn't do it for Mania, just because, I don't want to see Styles versus, like... If that's, like, something you see on, like, SmackDown, like... Who's the mystery opponent? Like, I wouldn't do that for the biggest show of fucking all time or anything, but they wouldn't do it anyway, like, because, like, fuck off, Shane.
Well, you heard about the women. There's apparently supposed to be a 4-way for the women's title again.
Oh my god, botch fucking central.
It's going to be Charlotte, Bayley, Nia Jax, and Sasha, apparently.
Oh my god. Record that one, that's going to be a beaut. Like, seriously. I don't know what happened to all of them ever since they came to NXT. They all just forgot how to wrestle, did they?
Well, SmackDown's women's division is 100 times better than Raw's, for one.
Yes, but the Bliss and Becky Lynch, seriously, oh my god, they can't wrestle though, man. Like, I don't know, they can't wrestle, not each other though. Like, watching the two of them wrestle each other, it's like seriously watching like two retards fight each other, man. It's like, oh my god. Is that politically correct?
But I'd rather watch, like, Natalya and Nikki Bella than watch, like...
Oh yeah, they're having a few deals.
Yeah, I'd rather watch them than watch the rest of them on Raw.
You're gonna die alone.
Just like my Uncle Brett.
You've been sucking Brett's dick. Like, what? What's going on here? Anyway, so that's the scheduled Mania matches. Like I said, there's all of them. Orton and Wyatt's the only one I don't mind. Styles, Shane, Reigns, Taker, Goldberg, Lesnar, and Orton, Cena. Seriously, no. Like, I think that's the worst lineup they could possibly do. Cena versus Taker is the biggest match of this era. It's basically the Andre and fucking Hogan of this era, and they didn't pull the trigger on it. And Taker's too old now to do it next year.
He's not doing nothing next year.
Literally... No, so they... Again, how the hell did they not pull the trigger on... All they had to do last night was have Taker win the Royal Rumble, and it would set up Taker versus Cena at WrestleMania. It's the biggest match that they could possibly do. It's as big as Cena Rock, if not bigger, maybe. Like, like the face of the WWE and the conscience of the WWE, where the fuck Taker is. Like, it writes itself. They dropped the ball on that. Another one too is Triple H versus Rollins.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck. That's from like you know how we talk about building storylines is good. Yes, it is, but that's like Triple H hasn't even been around in like since last summer. Like, shouldn't they have pulled the trigger on this feud like last year? Am I the only one that's like, I would have cared like 6 months ago, but I don't give a fuck now?
Especially when,
like, I don't even care
especially
anymore.
when you haven't seen Triple H on TV even like push the feud at all. It's just Rollins one-sided like talking about it.
His music's the main eventer. Is Rollins versus his music at WrestleMania. Who's gonna win?
You know what I was gonna say a minute ago? You mentioned Taker and Reigns and stuff like that. You know what the sad part is? Reigns is gonna win.
Oh, he's definitely going to win.
That's the sad part, because you know that Taker's on his way out, obviously, and Taker's going to give the rub to Reigns. He's going to put Reigns over because Reigns is the next. He's going to pass the torch, quote unquote.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's definitely going to happen.
Which is fucking sad as hell, man. Like,
oh, it's sad as
for somebody like Undertaker, who's had like this historic career, to go out against fucking Roman Reigns.
He's definitely going to be his last match. I think that Taker looked horrible last night.
He needs like a
that's like
hip for, you know what I mean? Like,
yes, he's going down like Rowdy Piper material now. But yeah, like, so I know like there's going to be people out here that like I said, I got no interest at all in Rollins Triple H. Like, Triple H versus anyone.
Triple H shouldn't be on the show. He shouldn't wrestle.
But like, he has the same story. Like, the last 5 years, maybe even 10, ever since he became like the authority, he's basically like Vince McMahon was for like 10 years, where it was just him. Rollins is the guy that's like lower beneath him, and Triple H is the authority. And can Rollins take down the authority? Like, that's what this storyline is gonna be. And it's like, that's every storyline with Triple H the last like 10 years. Like, I got no interest in seeing Triple H come out in his suit and tie and talking about how he's the game and he's the authority figure and Rollins is just a little bitch and all. I don't care. And then you do realize too that if Goldberg and Lesnar happens, at Mania, Goldberg's actually going to have to wrestle like more than a minute. Which you know what that's going to turn out to do? That's going to be a pretty shit show. Like, there's a chance that these guys have the 2 worst matches ever between Reigns and Taker and Goldberg and Lesnar. Seriously, they could turn out to be 2 of the worst matches in the history of wrestling.
As it's shaping up right now, this might be one of the worst Manias of all time.
Like, for wrestling quality, this could be like WrestleMania 9 material, man. Like, Rollins and Triple H, they'll pull out a decent match. Orton and Cena, if they do wrestle, is not going to be very good. They've never had good matches, in my opinion. Styles and Shane is just a joke. Goldberg, Lesnar, and Reigns Taker is going to be the worst thing you ever seen. Like, it's going to be like a fucking car wreck. That's all that's going to be. Seriously, it's going to look like a plane crash. So, I don't know. I'm glad we bitched on this episode, because coming off the Rumble, I'm fucking... Like, it wasn't even a bad show, but I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And anyone out there that's listening, and they're not going to listen to this before tonight, probably, but tonight on Raw, we get, wait for it, Rollins versus old Stephanie McMahon in a face-to-face. How is that any different than every Raw for the last 2 years where Rollins and Stephanie McMahon had a face-to-face? That's what happens every week. Every single week for the last 2 years, Stephanie is friggin' and Rollins have been arguing and having a face-to-face. Tonight it's like, tune in, Rollins and Stephanie McMahon face-to-face. That's what happens every fucking week.
There's a couple things I can call happening tonight. I got a funny feeling that we're going to see a rematch between Sheamus and Cesaro and Gallows and Anderson.
Oh my god!
No, this is what we're going to get. I know that because you know what's going to happen? You're going to see Cesaro and Sheamus break up as a team tonight.
Oh,
that's going to happen. You're going to see Rich Swann dancing.
I hate that fella more than anything in the world. Like, when he comes out, like, smiling that dance, he's like, you can't handle this. It's like, buddy, seriously, just go find a bridge and jump and never come back. Like,
you're going to hear Charlotte talking about how she beat Bayley. You're going to hear Nia Jax.
That's another thing. We never hit on that. That storyline, you can keep going, but that storyline was absolutely made no sense at all. But anyway,
you're going to hear Nia Jax talk about how she beat up Sasha Banks. What else are we going to hear? We're going to hear, Jericho and Owens are going to talk. I'm wondering what they're going to do with Owens now next. Who's his...
Goldberg.
Oh, yeah.
Owens is going to drop the belt to Goldberg.
Yeah, but I'm wondering what's going to happen tonight. I doubt Goldberg's going to be under tonight.
Well, Fastlane's only like a month away. Like, they'll probably hotshot it tonight, but it's going to end up being Goldberg versus...
Maybe like, you might see a taped interview with Goldberg, maybe, or something. But Goldberg's not going to be. If Goldberg was going to be on Raw tonight, you'd already hear about it. They would already announce that Goldberg's going to be on Raw tonight.
Well, he probably won't be there now, but like even if he does show up, like that's where they're going with him. Strowman and Reigns are going to kickstart their little mini feud until basically Strowman's just there to keep Reigns busy. He'll take her and get his hip fucking surgery done.
Yeah, so I got a funny feeling you're probably going to get Owens and Jericho out there like talking about how Owens beat him. Reigns is going to come out to confront him, then Strowman comes out and beats up Reigns again. That's what's going to happen probably.
Yeah. It's going to be, what you're going to get is a pile of shit, because Raw is, like,
it's going to be a
rehash
rehash of everything that happened last night, is what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah. You'll get a couple of random rematches. You'll get a couple of matches that makes absolutely no fucking sense. You'll get Stephanie McMahon emasculating the whole goddamn company. You'll get Roman Reigns cut the worst promo of all time. You'll get Sami Zayn treated like a fucking geek. You'll get Mick Foley coming out who can't even walk.
You'll get two shitty cruiserweight matches that nobody cares about.
Yeah, and then that's another thing, a pet peeve of mine. Stop changing the fucking rope colors. It's mad stupid. It makes no sense. They're supposed to be a part of Raw, and they're supposed to fit in with Raw. It makes them stand out, not in a good way. It makes them look like they're fucking outcasts, like they don't even belong there. Stop changing the rope colors.
Especially when they go through the trouble of changing the rope colors and changing the aprons and stuff, and then the match doesn't even happen.
Yeah, it doesn't even happen. Like, it's a pet peeve of mine. Like, if they're put it this way, if they're on Raw, if they're a part of the Raw roster, let them wrestle in the same fucking ring as the rest of the people on Raw. It makes them look like, I don't know, beneath everybody else.
They changed the ropes and changed the apron for 205 Live because it's a different show.
Oh, that's different. That's their own fucking show. But on Raw, like, it just makes them like, I don't know. When people turn it on, they're just like, I don't know. I don't like it. Pet peeve. Like, it just
they shouldn't be on Raw, in my opinion. Like right now, I think they should have them at 205 Lives, like just on that show until they can build up some characters and maybe integrate them back into the shows a little bit. But right now, it's not working, man.
No? That's fucking horrible, man. The only reason why they're there is to fill time, because...
Well...
Let's just fill it with something else, because they're already shit. Like,
alright, so we're an hour and 20 minutes. It was only supposed to be a short podcast, but it ended up being an hour and 20 minutes, so...
But I just labeled this old Bitch Fest 2017 because that's all this was.
Well, we talked about some good stuff in the beginning. It just we kind of got off on all the bad stuff.
Yes, but even the good stuff, I still had a couple of negative comments to say. I just bitched about everything pretty much.
That's okay.
Yeah. And then the thing is, if we would have done this show tomorrow, this would have been another fucking hour. Because I can't wait to watch this shit show tonight. Because if you think the Royal Rumble is bad, Raw is, like I said, literally the worst program in the history of television. So I'm just gonna end up killing myself tonight watching this. Like I can't even. A couple weeks ago, you fell asleep. Like we don't even watch it anymore. Like I can't even watch it.
I'd say I'll get till probably like 11:30 tonight, and if once I see Reigns come out at the end, I'll just fucking turn it off. But
man, it's just so bad. But anyway, I guess we're done bitching. Everybody enjoy Raw tonight. Yay!
Yeah, we'll probably
WrestleMania season officially the worst time for fucking wrestling the last.
We'll probably try to do another one at the end of the week. We'll talk about Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, we can either do it at the end of the week, or we can just wait till next week's Raw ends, because this week's Raw is just going to be
bullshit from last night, basically.
Yeah, like, are they even going to like bother to answer any questions from last night and start new feuds, or are they just going to be like
rehash everything from last night? I guarantee it.
You know what's going to happen too? Is old fucking Michael Cole's going to be like, that was the greatest Royal Rumble in history, and all this shit. Like, no, it wasn't. That was in the top 30 Royal Rumbles ever. How many are there?
I'm pretty sure not even 29. I think next year's the 30th anniversary. Oh,
yeah. And there was lots of other stuff that pissed me off too, but we're definitely done.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Alright, everybody, have a good week. We'll talk to you next week, and maybe after Raw, maybe we'll bring a little bit more positivity to the podcast next week.
The power of positivity?
See you, everybody. Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing? Oh, no. Okay, we'll leave it. Everybody have a good week, and see you next week. Thanks.